The desert night sky bore silent witness to a revolution that would forever alter the course of history. In the year 750 CE, the mighty Umayyad Caliphate, long regarded as the unshakable pillar of Islamic rule, crumbled in mere days, swept aside by the surging tides of change. At the heart of this seismic shift lay the Abbasid family, rising from the shadows of discontent. They were not simply rivals, they were visionaries, claiming descent from none other than the Prophet Muhammad's beloved uncle, Al-Abbas. Their call to arms was more than a thirst for power. It was a promise of justice to the marginalized and the oppressed. In the fertile lands of Kufa, their banners unfurled, marked not just by the color black, but by the weight of a new dawn. Abu Muslim, the enigmatic leader of their revolution, orchestrated this upheaval with a deftness that left the world in awe. His charisma drew followers from all corners, from those weary of Umayyad extravagance to those longing for a purer vision of Islamic governance. As the Abbasids surged, the Umayyads faltered, their long reign collapsing like a sandcastle before the tide. But who were these Abbasids, and what dreams did they harbor for the world they sought to claim? With the Caliphate's seat now firmly in their grasp, the Abbasids would embark on a bold new chapter, one that promised not just power, but enlightenment. The world would soon come to know their legacy, a legacy that would kindle the flames of an era unlike any before. In the year 762 CE, from the very heart of Mesopotamia, arose a city destined to be more than a mere settlement. It was to be the pulsating heart of an empire. Caliph al-Mansur, astute in his vision, decreed the establishment of Baghdad, a city that would not only serve as the administrative core of the Abbasid Caliphate, but also as a beacon of culture and commerce. Chosen for its strategic location along the Tigris River, Baghdad was to be the confluence of peoples and ideas, a testament to Abbasid ambition. Al-Mansur envisioned a city that would embody the Caliphate's aspirations. The city's design was meticulously planned, with concentric circles radiating from a grand central palace, symbolizing the unity and harmony the Abbasids sought to project. As the city grew, it became a tapestry of innovation and tradition, where bustling markets thrived alongside tranquil gardens. Merchants from distant lands brought goods and stories, weaving Baghdad into the fabric of the known world. In this city, ancient traditions met new philosophies, and the seeds of progress took root. The founding of Baghdad was not merely the creation of a capital, it was the opening of a gateway through which the world would soon witness the marvels of an unparalleled epoch. Under the luminous reign of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, the Abbasid Caliphate reached the shimmering heights of its golden age. This era, remembered fondly in the annals of history, was one of unprecedented cultural and scholarly flourishing. Harun al-Rashid, a patron of the arts and sciences, transformed his court into a sanctuary for poets, philosophers, and scientists. In this period of effulgence, the Caliphate became a bridge connecting the ancient past with the unfolding future, a crucible of intellectual fervor. It was said that the streets of Baghdad were lined with libraries, each one a repository of wisdom, where scholars pondered the mysteries of the cosmos and the soul. The Caliph's court was a vibrant tapestry of dialogue and discovery, where the minds of the era engaged in spirited exchange, unshackled by the boundaries of their time. Stories of Harun al-Rashid's court, immortalized in tales like the 1001 Nights, epitomize a world where imagination and reality intertwined seamlessly. It was an age marked by hope, where the possibilities of human thought seemed as boundless as the stars gracing the night sky. In the serene gardens of Baghdad, a beacon of enlightenment shone brightly, casting its light across the known world. This was the House of Wisdom, an institution that transcended its time to become an enduring symbol of intellectual pursuit. Founded under the auspices of the Abbasid Caliphs, the House of Wisdom was a sanctuary where scholars from diverse lands gathered to translate and preserve the ancient knowledge of civilizations past. The halls of this remarkable place echoed with the spoken languages of Greek, Persian, and Sanskrit, as ideas flowed freely across cultural divides. Here, ancient texts were not only safeguarded but revitalized, infused with new insights that would spur the evolution of science and philosophy. Amidst its walls, mathematicians, astronomers, and philosophers labored tirelessly, their endeavors laying the groundwork for modern thought. It was a place fueled by the desire to understand the natural world, to unravel the mysteries of mathematics, and to explore the very essence of existence. The House of Wisdom stood as a testament to the Abbasid commitment to the life of the mind, a commitment that would resonate through the ages, casting ripples that would shape the contours of modern science and intellectual inquiry. The Abbasid Caliphate, at its zenith, was a crucible of intellectual brilliance, where the minds of pioneers like Al-Khwarizmi, Al-Farabi, and Ibn Sina illuminated the path for generations to come. These towering figures, each a luminary in their own right, transformed the landscape of their respective fields, nurturing ideas that continue to resonate within the annals of human achievement. Al-Khwarizmi, often hailed as the father of algebra, crafted a mathematical language that transcended borders, while his algorithms laid the groundwork for computations that underpin today's digital world. Al-Farabi, the second teacher after Aristotle, wove together threads of philosophy, creating a tapestry of thought that harmonized Greek and Islamic wisdom. His work in political philosophy offered profound insights into the governance of societies. Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, embarked on a journey through the intricacies of medicine and metaphysics, his canon of medicine serving as a cornerstone of medical education for centuries. These scholars, with their boundless curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge, exemplified the spirit of the Abbasid era, a spirit that treasured and fostered the remarkable potential of the human intellect, leaving an indelible mark upon the tapestry of history. In the year 833, the Abbasid Caliphate stood at a crossroads of thought and belief, a crucible where faith and reason were tested under the searing heat of inquiry. Caliph al-Ma'mun, with a vision as vast as his empire, sought to impose a singular truth upon a world brimming with diverse interpretations. This was the Mihna, a trial of faith and reason, where the very essence of Islam was questioned by the most powerful man in the Islamic world. Al-Ma'mun, a patron of knowledge and a lover of Greek philosophy, believed in the supremacy of the rational mind, and thus he demanded that all scholars affirm the createdness of the Quran, a position that clashed with widespread orthodoxy. Those who resisted were not merely dissenting against a theological premise, they were defying the will of the Caliph himself. Scholars, once revered as keepers of divine wisdom, now found themselves caught in a perilous dance with power. In Baghdad, the heart of this intellectual storm, the streets echoed with whispers of fear and defiance. Figures such as Ahmad ibn Hanbal stood firm in their convictions, weathering imprisonment and torture in the name of unyielding belief. Their trials were not just of endurance, but of the very soul of the Islamic world. The Mihna, though ultimately short-lived, left an indelible mark upon Islamic jurisprudence. It crystallized the tension between reason and revelation, a dialectic that would spark debates for centuries to come. In this era of strife, the true victors were not merely those who survived, but the ideals that emerged resilient and unbroken, shaping the contours of Islamic thought in profound ways. The Abbasid Caliphate, a beacon of learning and culture, also reveled in the beauty of art and architecture, creating a legacy that would inspire the eyes and souls of generations. In the tranquil halls of its grand palaces, calligraphers and artists worked with delicate precision, their pens dancing across parchment, weaving words into intricate patterns that transcended mere text to become works of art. The geometric designs of the era, with their complex interlocking shapes, spoke a language of symmetry and infinity, reflecting both the divine order and the creative prowess of humanity. These patterns found their way onto the walls of mosques and the floors of bustling marketplaces, a testament to the interconnectedness of the earthly and the sublime. Iconic structures such as the Great Mosque of Samarra, with its spiraling minaret, rose from the desert sands as symbols of Abbasid ambition and aesthetic vision. Within its walls, light played upon the surfaces, casting shadows that whispered of divine mysteries. The Abbasid artisans, through their exquisite craftsmanship, left behind a world imbued with beauty, a world where the vibrant hues of mosaics and the harmonious lines of architecture invited contemplation and reverence. Here, in the art and architecture of the Abbasid Caliphate, the eternal dance between form and function found its most elegant expression, illuminating the cultural zenith of an empire that cherished the sublime. As the 10th century unfolded, the might of the Abbasid Caliphate began to wane, its once unassailable authority gradually fracturing under the weight of internal strife and external pressures. The heart of the empire, which once pulsed with vigor and innovation, now found itself beset by the rise of formidable regional powers, eager to carve their own destinies from the fading glory of the Caliphate. The vast, arid lands of the Caliphate, stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian subcontinent, proved difficult to govern from the grand city of Baghdad. Local dynasties, emboldened by the empire's weakening grip, began to assert their independence, each vying for control and influence over the diminished territories. Figures such as the Samanids in the east and the Fatimids in the west emerged as potent forces, challenging the Abbasids' authority and reshaping the political landscape of the Islamic world. In the corridors of power, whispers of unrest and rebellion grew louder, echoing through the Caliphate's once mighty halls. This slow unraveling marked a poignant chapter in the Abbasid saga, a time when dreams of unity gave way to the harsh realities of division. Yet even as the central authority faded, the cultural and intellectual achievements of the Abbasid era continued to endure, leaving an indelible imprint upon the sands of time, a testament to an empire that, despite its decline, had forever altered the course of history. In the year 945 CE, the city of Baghdad, jewel of the Abbasid Caliphate, saw its fate entwined with the ambitions of the Umayyad dynasty, a turning point in the storied chronicles of this once mighty empire. The Umayyads, Persian in origin and Shia in faith, seized the heart of the Sunni Abbasid realm, marking a profound shift in the balance of power. As the dust of conquest settled, the Abbasid caliphs found themselves reduced to mere figureheads, their regal authority overshadowed by the new rulers who held the reins of political and military power. The Caliphate, which had once commanded the allegiance of vast territories, now watched as its sovereignty slipped into the hands of its erstwhile subjects. The Umayyads, pragmatic and shrewd, allowed the Abbasid caliphs to retain their religious prestige, a move calculated to maintain a semblance of continuity and legitimacy. Yet beneath this facade lay a new reality, one where the true power resided in the hands of the Umayyad emirs, who set the course for the realm's future. This epoch of Umayyad ascendancy was one of both tension and transformation, as the interplay between the old order and the new ushered in an era of cultural flourishing, even amidst political change. Baghdad, though now under different stewardship, continued to serve as a vibrant center of learning and commerce, its spirit resilient and enduring even as the structures of power around it transformed. Amidst the swirling tides of political upheaval and the shifting sands of power, the intellectual legacy of the Abbasid Caliphate remained a shining beacon, illuminating paths yet to be traveled. This period of unrivaled scholarship and innovation laid the foundations for a vibrant exchange of ideas that would transcend the boundaries of time and geography. The House of Wisdom, an enduring symbol of Abbasid intellectual vigor, continued to be a nexus for scholars and thinkers, where the rich tapestry of human knowledge was woven anew. Here, the works of Greek philosophers were translated and studied alongside the profound inquiries of Islamic sages, creating a synthesis of thought that would ripple through the ages. Such luminaries as Al-Kindi, Al-Farabi, and Ibn Sina pushed the boundaries of philosophy, medicine, and science, their contributions forming a legacy that would echo far beyond the Islamic world, igniting the flames of learning in distant lands. Even as the political structures of the Caliphate trembled, the intellectual pursuits championed by the Abbasids endured, a testament to the enduring power of knowledge. The seeds planted during these centuries of enlightenment would continue to flourish, their fruits nourishing the minds of generations yet unborn, a true and lasting legacy of a civilization that dared to dream of a world united by the pursuit of understanding. In the heart of the Iberian Peninsula, a city arose from the ashes of antiquity, shimmering like a jewel in a world yearning for enlightenment. Cordoba, once a Roman outpost, transformed under the guiding hand of the Umayyads into the epicenter of knowledge and culture in the Western Islamic world. How did this once humble city rise to such lofty heights? It was the intellectual currents flowing from the Abbasid heartlands to Al-Andalus that breathed life into Cordoba's vibrant streets and reverent halls. The echoes of Baghdad's House of Wisdom reverberated across the great expanse, carrying with them the revolutionary ideas that kindled a flame of curiosity and learning in the West. Scholars from distant lands gathered under Cordoba's starry skies, their minds fertile fields for the seeds of innovation and inquiry. They delved into astronomy, mathematics, and medicine, weaving together the ancient wisdom of the Greeks and Romans with the fresh insights of Islamic thought. A bastion of cultural synthesis, Cordoba became a beacon of tolerance and enlightenment, where Christian, Jewish, and Muslim scholars worked side by side, unearthing the mysteries of the universe and the intricacies of the human spirit. Its libraries, filled with countless volumes, rivaled those of its eastern sibling, while its streets resonated with the languages of many lands, creating a harmonious symphony of diversity. As the sun set over the Guadalquivir River, its golden light reflected off the mosque's intricate mosaics, casting a glow of hope and promise. Cordoba stood not merely as a city, but as a symbol of what could be achieved when minds and hearts were open to the wonders of the world. An enduring testament to the brilliance that can flourish when cultures intermingle and inspire. In the hushed corridors of time, where the echo of footsteps fades into silence, the philosophers of Islam tread a path lined with questions as old as civilization itself. The Abbasid era, a golden age of inquiry, saw the emergence of thinkers who dared to ask, how does one reconcile the revelations of faith with the logic of reason? It was within this vibrant intellectual landscape that figures like Al-Farabi and Al-Ghazali embarked on their quests for understanding. Al-Farabi, often revered as the second teacher after Aristotle, sought to harmonize the philosophical traditions of Greece with the spiritual tenets of Islam. His works, infused with clarity and depth, contemplated the nature of existence and the ideal society, envisioning a world where reason and faith coexist in mutual respect. His legacy, a bridge between cultures, paved the way for the flourishing of subsequent philosophical thought across the Islamic world and beyond. In contrast, Al-Ghazali, a luminary in his own right, approached the conundrum from a different angle. His skepticism towards the limitations of philosophy led him to emphasize the primacy of divine revelation and inner spirituality. Yet, his critical examination of both philosophy and theology enriched the intellectual tapestry of his time, leaving an indelible mark that would influence generations to come. As the Abbasid Empire thrived, so too did the dialogue between these great minds and their diverse ideas. Together, they crafted a narrative that continues to inspire contemplation, a testament to the profound capacity of the human intellect to explore the complexities of truth and the mysteries of existence with grace and humility. In the bustling marketplaces of the Abbasid realm, the air was thick with the scent of exotic spices and the hum of myriad tongues. Here, commerce was not merely an exchange of goods, but a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of diverse cultures and ideas. The Abbasid Caliphate, with its extensive trade networks stretching from the farthest corners of China to the distant shores of the Mediterranean, was a crucible of prosperity and innovation. Caravans laden with silks, spices, and precious metals traversed the vast landscapes, guided by the stars and the knowledge of ancient routes. The Silk Road, that fabled artery of commerce, pulsed with life, connecting east and west in an intricate dance of exchange. But it was not just material wealth that flowed along these pathways. Ideas, too, traveled beside the caravans, sparking new thoughts and igniting cultural revolutions. In bustling ports and thriving cities, merchants and scholars convened, exchanging not only goods, but also wisdom. The streets of Baghdad and Basra buzzed with debates and discussions, where the latest innovations in science, technology, and the arts unfurled like the sails of a dhow catching the wind. The Abbasids, through their patronage of the arts and sciences, fostered a golden age where knowledge was as prized as gold or silver. As the sun cast its golden glow upon the dusty caravans and shimmering waves, the Abbasid Caliphate stood as a testament to the enduring power of trade. It was in these vibrant intersections of commerce and culture that the seeds of the modern world were sown, their roots deeply embedded in the rich soil of history. The grandeur of the Abbasid Caliphate, once a beacon of unity and strength, began to wane as the forces of time and circumstance exerted their inexorable pull. In the quiet shadows of decline, the empire's centralized power fractured, giving rise to new, autonomous entities that would shape the course of history in their own right. The Fatimids, with their own vision of Islamic rule, emerged in North Africa, establishing Cairo as a rival center of power and culture. Meanwhile, the Seljuks, formidable in their military prowess, carved out their own dominion across Persia and Anatolia, asserting control over the eastern reaches of the former Abbasid lands. These new powers, each with their own ambitions and identities, added to the tapestry of fragmentation that defined the late Abbasid era. Yet, amidst this splintering, the intellectual and cultural legacy of the Abbasids endured, a resilient thread weaving through the changing patterns of authority. The cities they once nurtured continued to thrive as centers of learning and culture, their libraries and universities preserving the treasures of knowledge accumulated over centuries. In this somber tableau of decline and dispersal, the story of the Abbasids serves as a poignant reminder of the impermanence of empire. But it is also a testament to the enduring spirit of a civilization that, while fractured, never truly faded from the annals of history, its influence echoing long into the future. In the heart of the Abbasid Caliphate, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers cradled the land in their gentle embrace, a tapestry of cultures intertwined, creating a rich mosaic of human achievement. This was an era of cultural syncretism, where the confluence of diverse traditions gave rise to new forms of art, science, and literature. The Abbasids, with their open embrace of knowledge, became the stewards of a vast repository of human thought, drawing from the legacies of the Greeks, Persians, Indians, and others. Scholars translated ancient texts into Arabic, breathing new life into the philosophies and sciences of old, while simultaneously contributing original insights that would propel humanity forward. This blending of ideas and traditions was perhaps most vividly expressed in the realm of art and architecture. The intricate arabesques and geometric designs of Abbasid art reflected the harmonious integration of influences from across the empire, creating visual expressions that transcended borders. Literature, too, flourished, with poets and writers capturing the spirit of the age in verses that celebrated both the sacred and the secular. As the sun set over Baghdad's bustling streets, casting long shadows over the domes and minarets, the legacy of the Abbasids shimmered in the twilight. It was a legacy not of conquest, but of connection, a testament to the boundless possibilities that emerge when cultures meet and mingle, each thread strengthening the fabric of human civilization. What secret lay at the heart of the Abbasid Caliphate's boundless wealth? It was not mere conquest, nor the spoils of war, but rather an intricate tapestry of economy, where agriculture was both the loom and the thread. In the fertile crescent of Mesopotamia, the river's gifts transformed arid lands into verdant fields of grain, dates, and cotton. This bounty fed not only the stomachs of the empire, but also its coffers. Through a network of irrigation channels, the Abbasids harnessed the waters, their engineers skilled in the ancient art of taming the land. The bounty reaped by farmers found its way into bustling markets, where merchants traded both wares and tales from distant lands. These bazaars, alive with the clamor of bargaining, became the empire's arteries, pulsating with the movement of goods. Taxation, meticulously administered, ensured that the caliph's treasury was kept replete. A sophisticated system, born of necessity and astuteness, levied dues that supported the grandeur of an empire at its zenith. Yet it was not solely the accumulation of wealth, but the circulation of coinage that underpinned stability. The Abbasids introduced new monetary policies, their dinar glittering across continents as a symbol of enduring influence. Thus, in the interplay of soil and silver, the Abbasid economy thrived, a testament to the vision and governance that sustained an empire, whispering stories of prosperity through the ages. In the heart of the Abbasid Caliphate, the roles of women were as varied as the stars in an Arabian night, illuminating the intricate patterns of society. While the confines of tradition often cast shadows, there existed realms where women stepped beyond the bounds, leaving indelible marks upon the tapestry of history. Jaunts into realms of influence were not uncommon, with figures such as Zubaydah, wife of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, whose patronage extended the famed pilgrimage routes. Her legacy, intertwined with the paths of piety, also spoke to the power wielded within domestic spheres. Education, a beacon of the Abbasid age, gently opened its doors to women of wealth and intellect. Scholars like Lubna of Cordoba and Fatima al-Fihri embodied the thirst for knowledge, their contributions etching an enduring legacy in the annals of learning. Yet beyond the courts and libraries, the majority of women lived lives tied to family and home, their stories often whispered in the quietude of bazaars and the intimacy of domestic hearths. The Abbasid period, a time of gradual social change, witnessed shifts that would echo into future generations, each step a quiet revolution in the timeless dance of progress. Amidst the roar of encroaching Crusader forces, the Abbasid Caliphate found itself at a pivotal crossroads. The shadow of the West loomed large, bringing with it the clamor of armies intent on conquest. In this tense tapestry of conflict, the Abbasids wove a narrative of resilience and strategy. The Caliphate, though no longer at its apogee, retained the wisdom of centuries in its response. Alliances were forged with neighboring powers, their combined strength a bulwark against the crusading tide. Diplomacy, an art refined within the Abbasid courts, became as crucial as the sword. Yet, the struggle was not solely external. Within the Caliphate, the call for unity echoed as factions were reminded of the greater threat beyond their borders. The resolute leadership sought to galvanize the empire, steering the ship of state through turbulent waters. In these encounters, the Abbasids demonstrated not merely survival, but an enduring spirit of cultural and religious identity. The battles fought were as much for the preservation of a way of life as for territory. And so the Abbasid response to the Crusades remains etched in history, a testament to the enduring, if sometimes beleaguered, legacy of a caliphate confronted by the fervor of the West. In the golden age of the Abbasid Caliphate, the pursuit of knowledge shimmered like a guiding star. Scholars ventured into the realms of the unknown, their curiosity boundless and their inquiries transformative. Under the shade of palm trees, in the bustling city of Baghdad, a renaissance of science and learning unfolded. Astrolabes and celestial maps became the tools of astronomers who sought to unravel the mysteries of the heavens. Observatories, such as the one in Baghdad, stood as beacons of discovery, where scientists like al-Khwarizmi crafted algorithms that would forever change the course of mathematics and navigation. In the realm of medicine, the likes of al-Razi and Ibn Sina penned treatises that transcended borders, their works becoming the cornerstone of healing across continents. Hospitals, known as Bimaristans, offered care guided by empirical observation and innovative practices. Engineering, too, flourished in this era of enlightenment, with inventions that harnessed water and wind, shaping societies and economies alike. The legacy of Abbasid scientific endeavors extended far beyond their time, laying the foundational stones for modern science. The echoes of their achievements remind us still that in the pursuit of understanding, humanity finds its true purpose. In the heart of Baghdad during the Abbasid era, there existed sanctuaries of knowledge that inspired awe and reverence, the libraries. These repositories held the collective wisdom of the ages, gathered from the farthest corners of the known world, forming a celestial map of human thought. The House of Wisdom, or Beit al-Hikmah, stood as the crown jewel of these institutions, its halls abuzz with the activity of scribes and scholars. Here, texts from Greece, Persia, India, and beyond were translated into Arabic, creating a bridge between cultures and eras. Among the shelves, works of science, philosophy, and literature whispered timeless truths to those who sought enlightenment. The library's patrons, from the caliphs to the common man, engaged in dialogues that transcended the boundaries of language and creed. It was in these hallowed spaces that the seeds of innovation and inquiry were sown, their fruits ripening in the minds of those who dared to dream. The libraries of Baghdad, though long vanished, remain a symbol of the intellectual vigor that defined the Abbasid Caliphate. In their legacy, we find an enduring reminder of the power of knowledge to illuminate the darkest of ages. In the grand tapestry of the Abbasid Caliphate, religion was not merely a thread but the very loom on which the empire wove its identity. Here, the echoes of prophetic teachings intermingled with the diverse voices of believers, creating a rich mosaic of spiritual life. Sunni Islam provided the dominant narrative, a guiding star navigating the vast expanse of the caliphate, yet it was not the sole claimant to spiritual authority. The Shia, with their fervent devotion and distinctive interpretations, found themselves in an intricate dance with the Sunni majority, a dance of both conflict and coexistence. Amidst this interplay, other religious communities carved out their sanctuaries. Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, and an array of lesser-known faiths added their own shades to the religious palette of the empire. Their presence was a testament to the Abbasids' pragmatic approach to governance, an empire that embraced diversity as a source of strength rather than division. Within the halls of Baghdad, scholars of all beliefs debated and discussed, their intellectual pursuits forming a bridge between faiths. This confluence of religions was not without its tensions. Periods of upheaval punctuated the history of the caliphate, as sectarian and doctrinal differences occasionally flared into open conflict. Yet, the shared intellectual curiosity and the thirst for knowledge often transcended these divides, fostering a climate where ideas could flourish. Thus, in the Abbasid era, religion was both a catalyst for growth and a mirror reflecting the complexities of human belief, a profound testament to the enduring power of faith to shape the world. Once the crown jewel of the Islamic world, Baghdad began its slow descent from glory to shadow, an imperial sun setting beneath the horizon of history. Founded with grand ambitions, the city stood as a beacon of knowledge and culture, its libraries and mosques resplendent in the desert sun. Yet beneath the surface, forces of discord were at play. Internal strife among ruling factions sowed seeds of division, while the extravagant lifestyle of the elite drained the coffers of the state. As the caliphate expanded its reach, its vast territories grew ever more difficult to manage. Governance became a delicate balancing act, with distant provinces sometimes slipping beyond the grasp of central authority. The intricate web of trade and communication that had once tied the empire together began to fray, as regional governors sought greater autonomy and economic pressures mounted. Baghdad's decline was not merely an internal affair. The city faced the relentless pressures of external threats as well. To the east, the Mongol Empire loomed, a formidable power intent on conquest. In the face of such challenges, Baghdad's defenses weakened, its once impregnable walls vulnerable to the tide of history. The decline of Baghdad was a melancholy overture, a prelude to the tumultuous symphony that was to unfold, a city in twilight, caught in the inexorable march of time. In the shadow of the eastern horizon, a storm gathered, a storm named Hulagu Khan. As the Mongol armies advanced with an unyielding determination, the winds of change howled through the lands of the Abbasid Caliphate. The Mongols, fierce horsemen from the steppes, had forged an empire through fire and blood, and now their gaze turned westward towards Baghdad. The threat was palpable, a specter haunting the once impervious city. The Abbasids, with their storied past and intellectual prowess, faced an enemy unlike any they had encountered before. The Mongols brought with them a reputation forged in the crucible of conquest, leaving in their wake cities reduced to ashes. As the armies drew closer, the air in Baghdad was thick with unease, a city teetering on the brink of catastrophe. Diplomacy faltered as emissaries failed to stem the tide of impending doom, and within the city walls, preparations were made for a siege. Yet the scale of the threat was overwhelming, and the Abbasid Caliphate, a titan of its era, stood vulnerable before the relentless Mongol advance. The stage was set for an encounter that would forever alter the course of history, a dramatic crescendo of tension and anticipation before the inevitable fall. In the year 1258, the city of Baghdad faced its darkest hour. Hulagu Khan's forces descended upon the city, and what unfolded was a scene of devastation and despair. The sack of Baghdad marked not merely the fall of a city, but the end of an era, the Abbasid Caliphate's heart silenced under the weight of Mongol might. The Tigris, once the lifeblood of a thriving metropolis, ran black with ink as the invaders cast the city's sacred texts into its waters. The grand libraries, repositories of human knowledge, were reduced to rubble, their wisdom scattered to the winds. The city's inhabitants faced unspeakable horrors, their lives irrevocably altered by the capricious hands of fate. This cataclysm sent ripples through the Islamic world, a profound shockwave of loss and mourning. What had been a center of power and enlightenment now lay in ruins, a poignant reminder of history's inexorable march. The sack of Baghdad was an indelible moment, a somber testament to the fragility of human achievement in the face of relentless conquest. In the aftermath of Mongol fury, the Islamic world stood at a crossroads, its future uncertain amid the ruins of Baghdad. The once mighty Abbasid Caliphate, reduced to memories and whispers, left behind a legacy both profound and poignant. The city's survivors, those who endured the unthinkable, emerged into a changed world, a world where the lines of power and culture had been irrevocably redrawn. The remnants of the Abbasid family scattered, seeking refuge in distant lands, as a new order took shape. The Mongol invaders, though brutal in their conquest, inadvertently became patrons of the arts, absorbing and fostering the cultures they had sought to subdue. This new era was marked by a complex interplay of destruction and rebirth. The Islamic world, resilient in the face of devastation, began to weave a new narrative from the threads of its past. As scholars and thinkers sought to preserve and rebuild, the echoes of Baghdad's golden age continued to inspire, a testament to the enduring spirit of a civilization that refused to be forgotten. In an age where much of the world lay in darkness, the Abbasid Caliphate dared to light a torch that would blaze across centuries. What might our own world look like without the indelible mark of this empire that once stretched from the sands of Arabia to the fertile banks of the Tigris? The Abbasids orchestrated a golden age that transformed the heart of the Islamic world into a beacon of enlightenment. Here, in the majestic halls of Baghdad, scholars gathered, sharing the wealth of ancient knowledge and sowing the seeds of modern science and philosophy. The caliphs, patrons of intellect, welcomed mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians from diverse cultures, fostering an unprecedented era of innovation. Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, and Avicenna, the eminent philosopher and physician, were just a few of the luminaries who illuminated this ancient world with their brilliance. Their works, translated and preserved, would later ignite the Renaissance, a testament to the Abbasids' influence beyond their own epoch. Across the expanse of the Caliphate, the echoes of their cultural and intellectual achievements reverberate through time. Libraries, universities, and observatories became sacred spaces where the pursuit of knowledge was revered. The Abbasid legacy is not merely a relic, but a living force, shaping the contours of the modern world. It beckons us to wonder what heights humanity might reach when curiosity and creativity are nurtured without bounds. As we stand at the crossroads of past and present, the Abbasid era whispers its profound lessons through the corridors of time. The scientific endeavors initiated in that vibrant epoch continue to resonate loudly in today's world, threading through the fabric of our modern advancements. The spirit of inquiry that flourished during the height of the Abbasid Caliphate laid the groundwork for disciplines that define our contemporary lives. From the precision of medical practices to the complexities of mathematical theories, the Abbasids sowed seeds that have blossomed into the myriad branches of knowledge we explore today. Their influence extends into the arts, where the intricate designs and literary masterpieces inspire countless creators across the globe. The House of Wisdom, a fabled bastion of learning, epitomized the Caliphate's devotion to intellectual curiosity, gathering and expanding knowledge in an unparalleled synthesis of cultures and ideas. This tapestry of wisdom, woven with threads of Greek, Persian, and Indian traditions, continues to form the backdrop against which the story of human progress unfolds. As we navigate the challenges of modernity, the Abbasid legacy encourages a continual reflection upon the value of embracing diversity and fostering a relentless quest for understanding. It is here, in the echoes of an ancient empire, that we find inspiration to keep the flame of knowledge alight, guiding us into a future enriched by the wisdom of the ages. In today's world, a renewed interest in the Abbasid era flourishes, a testament to its timeless allure. Across continents, scholars and enthusiasts delve into its rich historical tapestry, seeking to preserve and celebrate a culture that once stood as a beacon of enlightenment. The vibrant legacy of the Abbasid Caliphate invites us to explore its contributions anew, to unearth the forgotten treasures of a time when science and art were inextricably intertwined. This cultural revival is buoyed by an ever-growing body of research, translations, and digital archives that render the achievements of the Abbasids accessible to all. As we unearth the manuscripts and relics of this illustrious past, we tread upon a path of discovery that bridges the ancient with the contemporary. Initiatives devoted to the study and dissemination of Abbasid contributions are invigorating today's academic and cultural landscapes. Through conferences, exhibitions, and interactive experiences, the narrative of the Abbasids is brought to life, inspiring a new generation of thinkers and creators. The calligraphy that adorned their palaces and the scientific treatises penned by their scholars continue to inspire, a testament to the enduring power of creativity and knowledge. As we reflect upon this cultural resurgence, we are reminded that the Abbasid legacy, long a cornerstone of human achievement, still holds the power to ignite the imagination and propel us toward the horizons of possibility. The annals of history turn to the Abbasid Caliphate, offering timeless lessons etched in the sands of time. This era, marked by a fervent pursuit of knowledge and cultural exchange, provides a blueprint for a world where diversity and dialogue flourish. In the golden ages of the Abbasids, we find a mosaic of ideas, where scholars and thinkers transcended borders and boundaries, engaging in a dialogue that enriched human understanding. This period teaches us the significance of intellectual freedom, a principle that ushered in a renaissance of thought and creation. It beckons us to embrace the spirit of inquiry and the openness to ideas that defined the Caliphate's golden era. The Abbasids understood that the exchange of knowledge was a bridge to progress, a notion that remains ever relevant in our interconnected world. Their commitment to scholarship, seen in the translation movement that preserved and expanded ancient texts, underscores the enduring power of learning and collaboration. As we contemplate these lessons, we are reminded of the importance of nurturing a society where curiosity is celebrated and intellectual endeavor is unbound by constraints. In this reflection, the Abbasid era speaks to our present, urging us to build upon its legacy and to continue the timeless quest for understanding, compassion, and unity. As the curtain falls on the saga of the Abbasid Caliphate, we pause to reflect on an enduring legacy that spans the ages. This empire, once a cradle of culture and intellect, has left an indelible mark upon the world, a testament to the human spirit's quest for knowledge and enlightenment. The Abbasids, with their unparalleled dedication to the advancement of science, the arts, and philosophy, have etched their influence into the very fabric of modernity. Their legacy is not merely one of the past, but a living force that continues to inspire and enlighten. The contributions of Abbasid scholars and artists are woven into the tapestry of our contemporary world, echoing through every field of human endeavor. The libraries they established and the academies they fostered laid the groundwork for the universities and centers of learning we so cherish today. As we consider the vast reach of their impact, we are reminded of the power of a shared human endeavor, the pursuit of understanding that transcends time and place. The story of the Abbasids is a narrative of hope and possibility, urging us to carry forward the torch of knowledge and to build a future where the legacy of wisdom and creativity shines ever brighter. In this enduring quest, we find a reflection of our own aspirations, a reminder that the pursuit of enlightenment and understanding is a journey without end.